And we are live. Let me bring this down. Let's see, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Okay. I'm Alexandra. I'm founder of Life With Herpes. I'm excited to be going live with you. Let me grab this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. It's going to be a really quick call. I have a call after, and I wish I could talk longer, but I got stuck on another call. So, what's going on, my friends? My name's Alexandra, founder of Life With Herpes. I've been going live since 2017 talking about my herpes diagnosis. I was diagnosed with HSV1 in 2003 and HSV2 in 2017. So I have been dealing with this for multiple decades. I've learned to live with it. I've learned to date with it. I've learned to deal with outbreaks. I've learned to prevent outbreaks. I have gotten married with it. I've had a baby with it. All sorts of things. So anyways, this is just an opportunity for you to ask your questions about herpes. So what questions do you have? People have been asking lots of questions about herpes up here versus herpes down there. What's the difference? Can one transform or become the other? How do we prevent transmission to a partner? All sorts of fun things like that. Also dating, how to disclose, when not to disclose, because there's definitely some times when you should not disclose you have herpes, right? We have this whole big conception that I have to tell the person, I'm going to date the person, I have to tell the person I have herpes, but there's times when you don't need to tell, nor should you tell your partner that you have herpes. One of the reasons is, if you're not going to expose the person, there's no reason to disclose. Going on a date doesn't mean you're going to marry the person. Going on a date doesn't mean you're going to sleep with the person. Going on the date does not mean you're going to expose your herpes to that person. So if that's the case, there's no reason to disclose. That's not a bait and switch. That's just, hey, when you go on a date, you don't share everything about your life on date one. When you go on a date, there's a partner, and he or she has information that he or she needs to share as well. And so you just don't always need to just disclose until you start getting to the point of like, I really like this person. I think I want to sleep with this person. Yeah, I really feel this is someone I want to spend time with. That's when you have the disclosure about a herpes diagnosis. Guys, thank you for the hearts. I love seeing the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, if you are new, welcome. If you have been here before, also welcome. If you're new, I get hundreds of questions. I answer them in order. So if you have questions or comments, start asking them so I will get to them. And also, if you know someone that has herpes, please share this information with them. Like I said, I do this so that I can educate people. Someone said they strongly agree or strongly disagree with me saying you don't need to disclose unless you're going to expose. Yeah, definitely enlighten me on how you feel about that. My whole side of it is we have this big conception that I have to basically have to write herpes on my forehead whenever I meet someone. And it paralyzes us from, a lot of people from going out. It paralyzes us from meeting people or moving on with their life or feeling like we can date. And so when I say take that pressure off yourself of having to disclose you have herpes and wait until you've decided if that person is even worth disclosing to. I don't know about you, but I've been on probably hundreds of dates, and I only ended up with one husband, right? So there's many men I went on dates with. Some of them I disclosed I had herpes. Some of them I didn't disclose I have herpes. There was no need to disclose I had herpes because it wasn't going to go anywhere. It was one date, 2 dates, 3 dates, and that was it. And it never went anywhere. So that's just my personal side of it. I'd love to hear your side of it and how you disagree, because that's really important, and everybody should take both accounts into consideration. Are cold sores considered a form of herpes? Yes. So cold sores are herpes. It's a big misconception because people think that cold sores are not herpes. It's something you get when you have a cold, where that might likely be true because your immune system is low. Cold sores are HSV, herpes simplex virus, and that's either HSV1 or HSV2. Typically for the mouth, HSV1 prefers the oral region. Most people have HSV1 oral than opposed to HSV2 oral, but you can have both types on your mouth, HSV1 or HSV2. And cold sores are herpes. It's not a form of herpes, it is herpes. A form of herpes, the way to say that would be chickenpox. Okay, that is a form. It also is a herpes virus. It is a cousin to the cold sore virus, but herpes is cold sores. What are your thoughts on FWB with an X, going through it? I don't know what FWB is. Friends with benefits. I got it. I'm like, what are your thoughts on friends with benefits with an X going through it? Yeah, I've been there too. Because you're like, well, it's convenient. So the guy I got herpes from, I stayed with him for 2 years. There were times we were dating. There were times we were friends with benefits, the whole thing. I would ask yourself, so for me, whenever I'm trying to decide a decision, if it's an automatic yes, then that's like yes, like hell yes, yes. If it's an automatic no, then it's a no. If it's an I don't know, then it's a no. I don't know means it's a no. Like I don't know is kind of like, I'm trying to figure it out, which means it's a no. So I would say as long as you are aware that you're stringing out your situation with your ex, and you're aware of that and you're comfortable in that, then go for it. If you're like, no, this is draining me, this is stringing me along, it's not allowing me to move on or him to move on, or I'm just hanging on because of maybe lack of self-confidence, being diagnosed with herpes or whatever, I would look at that and say, all right, let me face the problem. Let me face the problem, which is really being diagnosed with herpes and scared to move on. Or my real issue is blank, or this is what's really holding me up with that. So my personal, I've done it. I did it for a couple of years. Looking back, I would say I wasted my time. I wasted time being able to focus on myself and be available to meet the man. Like I already met my husband, but be available for my husband and move on. That's just my personal take. But I understand the comfort, the shoe that fits, all that. I feel like I can't leave this person because we both have herpes. You absolutely can move on. If you're not happy in a relationship, herpes or nothing should hold you back. One of the things I heard, and because I had this thought before I was married, like once you're married, you're committed. And where I take my vows seriously and my husband takes his vows seriously, and we're committed. In any relationship, you're only committed until you don't want to do it anymore. So if you're saying to me you feel like you can't leave your partner because you both have herpes, it sounds like to me you're already out and there's a fear that's holding you back. So I would say if you're not happy and want to leave, do not let herpes hold you back. You're only doing what you want to do until you don't want to do it anymore, and it sounds like you don't want to do it anymore. What type do I have? I have type 1 oral and type 2 genital. I have both types. And my ex has herpes but never kissed when there was an outbreak. Do I have it? Most likely not. I would go get tested though. If you have any questions, I go get tested. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to jump off. I love all these. These are like great, juicy. I love these questions. My fiance has herpes. What advice do you have for people that are dealing with it? I would say that for people that don't have herpes, do the best that they can to boost their immune system. There are some studies, and I encourage you to do your own research with Andrographis. Andrographis is a supplement you can take that helps prevent transmission to a non-herpes person. So definitely go do your research on Andrographis. I do have it linked with Monolaurin, Lysine. You can order it. And yeah, you can order it. But there are some studies out there that it can help, and I would do anything that you can do to boost your immune system. In my first year, how many outbreaks did I get? Probably 30. I had tons of outbreaks my first year, like nonstop. Should I be concerned about sleeping with someone who has HSV1 or HSV2 but on treatment and no symptoms? I would say that that is going to be your least resistance, least way of transmission. So if your partner is on the antiviral, the Valtrex, valacyclovir, acyclovir, and has no symptoms, like doesn't have outbreaks, is asymptomatic, then that's going to be the best way to protect yourself. I would say most likely you're not going to pick it up. It's still out there. It still can happen. Like I was just saying to the last person, Andrographis, there are some studies that for a person that does not have herpes, this can help prevent transmission to a person that does not have herpes. I do have it linked so you can check it out. You do get 10% off. So I would take Andrographis. I take it daily as well. Why women want you to accept them with herpes but judge guys badly for having it? I know, it's a double standard. All right, guys, I apologize. I have to jump and jump on my next call. People with herpes, do you take supplements? You can take, so this last one, you can take, people with herpes, Lysine, Andrographis, and Monolaurin. These are all supplements you can take to support the herpes outbreak. All right, guys, I've got to go. I will see you. Also, you'll see the link in my bio that there are topical things you can use to help with your outbreak. Thank you for the hearts. Bye.